All right. Let's see what we got here so far. I know it's early. I know this was a last minute announcement, so I don't expect too many people in here right now. I'll give you guys a minute in order to show up. That's fine. But while the people show up here, let's go on and see what's happening in the news and sports today. So, right now, we have game 4 of Milwaukee versus Boston, where Milwaukee's up 2-1 against the Celtics. The Bucks are actually trailing 61-62. So Celtics are making the move and a must-win game. Not really a must-win game, but still, they're still behind. But granted, they're ranked number 4. Let's see what else is going on. Oh, Celtics just took the lead. All right, later on today, we have the Rockets and the Warriors playing off. Golden State is leading 2-1, but the Rockets did clutch it last Saturday night. So props to them, even though, look, we are not going to make any shy thing about this. I'm all about the hashtag light skins premise, and I say that in a joking way. So nobody get triggered by it, but it's just a little thing, little joking thing I say. So those things should be good later on. Let me see. What's the news that's going on in the world right now? Let me see. Anything that's interesting? To be honest, no. There's nothing that's really interesting. You have the USA warns Iran, and it's just a bunch of saber rattling as usual. Nothing's going to come out of this. Both countries have too much in stake in order to risk anything. So a lot of these ships are just for show on both sides. So as far as I'm concerned, I'd be more concerned about what's going on in Venezuela, and who we have in the house. So 7 people watching. What's good, Ice? What's good, Simply Deep? Lando, what's good? Oh yeah, you know what? You know what? I've always thought Lando and Simply Deep were the same individuals for the longest time. So as far as what's good, Jeff? 8 people showing up. Yeah, I'm saying it. All 8 of you, I am proud of. I know a lot of people will have 800 people waiting, but it's all good. Hey, look, this is a small channel. We have to build somewhere. Uh, You've been traveling recently. Hey, KC, what's good? You know what? I have not, partially because of my job. And it's been very busy. And in a way, that my job actually relates to the title that you see here today, how you got to go through hell to get to heaven. So, with that, all 8 of you people who are watching, I'm not going to keep you all on hold for the other people to get in here. Look, this is no shock. This is no surprise. This is a duh moment. This is more of a no shit Sherlock kind of thing that a lot of people realize that you have to go through hell to get to heaven. And if you speak to anyone who has actually made something of themselves, anyone who has a decent life, anyone who has something tangible to show from their efforts, 9 times out of 10, they will state that they had to go through hell in order to get to heaven. Or if you stated that to them, what they had to go through may have not been hell, but it was almost close. It was damn near hell. And Trojan Magician, what's good? Isaiah, what's good? Shout out to the chat room. 12 watching, 6 likes, not bad, but we can do better. But in any case, as far as going through hell to get to heaven, everyone who's watching here, whether you're live or you're watching the replay, you can attest the times in which you had to deal with some of the most heinous bull crap in your life in order to get to where you are. We have stories of individuals throughout the manosphere, if you've been around, where they have explained that in order to get to where they are today, they had to go through a lot of BS. And we're definitely hearing stories right now of individuals. I won't mention particular names because I'm sure they don't want their businesses out there, but you've had individuals, and yeah, I'll just name some of the more notable ones, or notable stories, I should say. You have individuals who have been fired from multiple jobs, in many cases through no fault of their own, mainly because they dealt with individuals who were threatened by their work ethic or by their sheer talent that they did the typical corporate BS and try to get these dudes set up. Henceforth, pushing these guys to start their own businesses or go back to school or just trek on their own way. You've had individuals who multiple times were homeless, mainly because of no fault of their own, mainly because they took a risk to get outside the matrix known as the 9 to 5, the thing that we all dread so much. You have individuals who have been burnt by females constantly, time and time again. But these individuals didn't decide to take the easy way out and start being misandrous or, misogynist in this case. Misogynist, he-man, woman haters. You have these individuals who went through so much, but decided that regardless of the struggles, of the challenges, of whatever BS life threw at them, they were going to throw something back even harder at life. And what's good, man? Freelance Ronin in the house. What's good? $5 super chat. Sanitos Clutches Live. You're damn right about that. Smokehouse, $5 super chat. Snow Bunny Fun, man. Hey, shout out to Snow Bunny Sunday. Shout out to Solo TV 84. That was a great Snow Bunny Sundays we did. There was more of a basics rundown on how, if you should pay for the first date. And for all of you guys who missed on Snow Bunny Sundays, I will have the link in the description box below. I'll put it there in a minute. I'll just look for it. But in the meantime, check out Solo TV 84 if you have not subscribed to him. Let's just say this. Solo TV 84, if you guys know Philco, and if you guys like Philco, you will like Solo TV 84. So here his content. Here is the link down below. Check that out. Check that out once this live stream is done, of course. But as far as the topic goes, you got to go through hell to get to heaven. No true words have ever been spoken when it comes to people who have accomplished things in their life. As I stated, the plenty of examples. It can be simple as people giving you crap, and people just not supporting you, or getting fired from a job unjustly, or it can be some extreme cases such as being homeless, getting into bankruptcy. Yeah, you didn't miss anything, Jarrett, with the accent E. I need to get on that. But in any case, thanks for the Streamlab. Hey, thank you, man. Yeah, you know what? The Streamlab or the PayPal or Streamlabs. I know you guys with big ballers who are donating a lot. I would recommend you to donate via PayPal right now. The Streamlabs I am setting up. Don't get me wrong. I think I have a Streamlabs account, but I don't want to give you something and have your money go nowhere. So as far as that's concerned, we will have Streamlabs up soon enough. I know a lot of people are doing that. And if I can get some guidance on the Streamlabs, I would really appreciate it. But shout out to Asbestos2 He had a nice donation. So shout out to him as usual. Shout out to the rest of you guys in here. Every donation matters. Every dollar amount matters. I don't tell you guys that you're cheap or coerce you guys. It is not mandatory. It's just whatever you want. And especially if you have a message, I will read it. But as far as going through hell to get to heaven. Now, in my personal case, I can definitely attest to you that I've gone through my fair share of hell to get where I am today. And to an extent, I'm still facing a bit of hell, quite frankly, especially in the place that I work, and the place around where I work, I should say. Now, I'm not going to say and be a victim and say, oh, it's everyone who's against me, and I'm surrounded by nothing but enemies, and I have already. Oh, you've already donated? What? You've already done? Hold on, man. Oh man, I'm not gonna give your real name out there, but thank you so much for the $50 super chat. I really appreciate. Once again, dude, this guy has money, man. This guy has freaking money. This is the second $50 donation that you've given, man. I mean, oh man, I'm not complaining, man. Hey, shout out to Asbestos Tooth Dot, man. Shout out to him. Shout out to him. Give him his props. Give him his due. Give him his French toast. Shout out to the brother, man. I really appreciate it. For everyone else out there who want to give direct donations and aren't too worried about um the YouTube way, which by the way, they take 30% off the top. So if you guys don't have anything in general to say, but you still want to give, I recommend using the PayPal link down below. But in any case, my form of hell that I've went through. Now, I will state this in my personal life. Shout out MMA fan 3. I've gone through my fair share of hell. And a lot of that has shaped me to be the person that I am today. And my personal life, I mean, I'm not going to say I was born in abject poverty and that I didn't know my father and all that other kind of stuff. And I had to eat sugar sandwiches with ketchup and with a side of whatever in order to get by life. That my life hasn't been that bad, but my life wasn't that great neither. My parents, they basically got married just because my mom and my dad had me. That was the only reason why they got married, and it was definitely the case as they soon split apart around the time I was 1. So already I was in the house where it was basically a single parent house, whether it was my mom or dad. Now, unlike a lot of individuals who say, "Oh, I never knew my dad," well, yeah, Sanitos was a hood, dude. Exactly. I was not. I don't look. I may sound like I'm from the cul-de-sac, but a lot of that was basically due to a combination of my parents emphasizing me not speaking like a Pookie and Ray Ray. You know, I give the shots of the Pookies and Ray Rays, as well as me sort of teaching myself not to have that vernacular that I was raised around. But granted, yeah, had my mom and my dad in my life for about 7 years. That was until my dad passed away when I was 7. And the way he passed away, I don't even talk about what or how he passed away. All I'm gonna say is that it was due to the combination of heavy drinking and smoking on his end, and as well as drug use, which ultimately led to his demise. So taking that, I only had my mom. Hey, thanks for the condolences. I only had my mom, and yeah, had my dad's side of the family, and they did what they could. I'm not gonna say and completely blame them, but it came to a point where when I started to become my own person, a lot of individuals within my family realized that I wasn't going to become the exact archetype that they would expect, whether it was the archetypical, Pookie and Ray Ray with swag, who, had the streets in them, at least in the surface, or for that matter, the quote unquote educated what, who was going to be a community eunuch and basically be the mule horse that backpacks an entire family and community upon his back. Sorry to hear that, Brandon. Really am. But as far as that was concerned, when my family, and better yet, when the community that I was raised around, realized that I wasn't going to be that individual who was going to conform and stand by and just do as I was told, then I had a lot of animosity. And that animosity came with a lot of fights, came with a lot of insults, and not just the little joning and that sort of thing, or roasting and cooking. No, trust me, there's a difference between you cooking and roasting and joning between your friends and just outright hostile insults. I mean, you think what I faced on YouTube was bad with these communitists who shame you or shame people like us into going back to fixing their screw ups? Oh no, this is nothing. This is nothing in compared to what I had to face when I was on the ground, when I was fighting that war. And I'll say this, like C Boogie stated, when he questions a lot of these educated, lame social rejects on where were they when he was fighting those wars. I'll say this: the community, whether it was the Pookies and Rays, educated, you know what's, etc., not a lot of them had my back. So I had to stand alone for the most part. Not to say that I didn't have help in some places, but yeah, that's how it was, and it's really your own that hurt you the most at the end of the, that's how it is, Malik. That's exactly how it is, and that's the story that a lot of these individuals on the pro-black side will not tell you. They'll tell you all day about how the white man is hurting you and is holding you back and is gonna give you you know what moments. Oh, watch out for that. Oh, it's gonna be the white man. He's gonna start this race war. He's gonna step on your toes. He's gonna prevent you from getting that job and getting that loan and getting that house and getting that Becky. But in reality, when it came to my upbringing, I wasn't raised around a lot of whites. I was raised in a predominantly black place, a black place that had power, money, and influence. But what did it do with the power, money, and influence? A lot of it was squandered on helping those who were unwilling to help themselves. Wow, demonizing those who had the ability to, one, help themselves at the very least, if nothing else, and two, give back genuinely and help the greater community, society, and race. And I've seen it within my family when you have those who basically were irresponsible. They were the ones who were given all these handouts and hookups and hand ups and all sorts of mess. And for just those who could do for self, were willing to pull themselves up by their own bootstraps, were willing to, at the very least, not be a burden on anyone. These were the ones who were left in the dust, who were left to defend themselves. And a lot of the community had the attitude of, well, he can defend himself. He's smart. He can do for himself. He's whatever. But in reality, I think a lot of it stems from dealing with the masses of failures. A lot of that attitude that I saw, a lot of my elitist attitude, now I'll admit, yeah, it can come from classism, elitism, whatever, but a lot of that stemmed from the focus of me noticing how those who could be an asset were overlooked, while those who were clearly screw ups, who were clearly failures in the making, these were the individuals who were constantly helped, who were constantly supported at the very least, and at the very most were rewarded. These were the people who were celebrated. This is the reality in the community. And the fact is that I was surrounded by a lot of individuals who had that loser mindset that, you know what, well, I'm going to help the losers since I was a loser my damn self. And you know what, we got to stick together against those who may have a chance, then leaving, escaping, and due to the animosity that they caused, and I'm not trying to make myself a victim, but due to the animosity that they caused, we have to call it down the line, they made a self-fulfilling prophecy of pushing away those who have the potential, in many cases prove it. Let me see what's in the chat room. Let me see. Yeah, your own family and friends were really I wouldn't call it bullying, honestly, because a lot of what is called bullying today, I just checked it from the beginning. Like I even was to the point of just cursing people out and being accused of calling crazy. Look, you'd rather be called crazy than a pussy. Trust me. If it's between those two, take being called crazy any day of the week, because people will shame you for standing up for yourself. Because look, in my case, I wasn't supposed to stand up for myself. I was supposed to be the beta bitch boy who took all the insults up the rear end and took it with a smile. But in my case, as I said, I'm very rebellious. I mean, granted, a lot of you guys can't tell, but when it comes to the community that came from, trust me, you would call me heavily rebellious. I'll tell you how rebellious I was in a minute. But yeah, I wasn't bullying per se, because I mean, I was willing to get in fights. Win, lose, or draw, I was willing to get in the fights. Just because you're in that typical archetypal hood Negro, you know what? I mean, that's just how it was, and it wasn't everyone. It wasn't all the family members. To be fair, it wasn't. And to be honest, it's gotten better since. I'll be quite frank. This is a shot towards the matriarchy. A lot more of the family members started to be males, and you could see the difference, and I could see the difference in how I'm treated by the male members of my family, male cousins versus the female ones. I mean, it's almost night and day. I mean, I can actually talk to my male cousins on a semi-casual basis if it's just through like social media, saying some bullshit or PSN, Xbox Live, etc. I mean, I can say that about the female members of my families, and to be honest, part of it was my fault. You know what? I mean, yeah, I can say this. I had some elitist attitudes towards them. May have said some things that I shouldn't have. To be fair, but it was on both sides as well. So I'm not going to paint myself the complete victim on that. And things that I've done that was wrong, I apologize to them for that. So, and in a sense, I don't blame them for not having the closest relationship with me. So whatever I've done and they've done, you know what? It's just at this point, we've just agreed to part ways when it comes to that. So let me see what's up. Reward bad behavior. Oh yeah, that's exactly what it is. Rewarding bad behavior. But to be fair, I do notice that my female cousins who are around my age are treating my male cousins who are younger than me with a bit more love, and I think it's partially because of what they learn from their experiences when it comes to myself and guys, the people they dealt with. I mean, they've seen the results and how people like me have basically excluded ourselves and pushed ourselves from the community. I've exiled ourselves from the community. Partially we were pushed out, but partially we made the decision to just move out, not deal with them, and just pull whatever it's our resources, attention, etc. Look at Nipsey. Yep. Rest in peace. Excuse me. I did not mean to say rest in peace. Rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle. Yeah. Thinking brothers are a scattered group, more so spread apart that the likelihood of one thinking brother being around to help another thinking. And that is something that is a sad thing. That is true, Freelance Ronin. A lot of us are scattered. And a lot of it is due to the fact that you have some individuals say, well, if we all gather, then people are going to get threatened. You know who's going to get threatened? The white trailer trash class. They're the only ones who I've seen have some sort of animosity and some sort of heightened fear of thinking black men getting together. That followed by your liberal, hipster, limousine liberal whites who live around and hang around and deal with and date 90% white, 10% anything but black. The ones in the Northeast from like Boston to DC who they don't mind you if you're Asian or Indian or Middle Eastern or some forms of Latino or gay, LGBT, transformer. You can be any of that stuff, but as long as you're not black, particularly a straight black male. Now, if you're a gay black male, not to knock on our gay brothers and sisters here, if you bat for the same team, they don't mind you, the liberals. But don't be a cis straight black male and a liberal stronghold. Do not be like that. Don't be that in the hardcore conservative stronghold neither, because it's the extremes. And this is the reason why, and that I emphasize that if you're a thinking black man, if you're going to stay in this country in the long run, be in the place that is purple, moderate, and libertarian. And that's the biggest reason why I decided to move out here, was that I can be closer to places that are like that. Now, where I live right now, it's sort of like that, honestly. People don't really give you crap, at least within the city, and even in some parts outside the city. But if you go too far out north or even southbound, you will run into some alt-right individuals, which in many cases, if you don't work for them, they're harmless. They're just a trailer trash that everyone knows that they are, and in many cases they are a laughing stock. But they do have their stomping grounds here. Some places here are an Aryan dreamland, so you just have to take that into consideration. But trust me, unless the state that I live in becomes Colorado 2.0 within the next few years, I don't see myself staying here in the long run. But yeah. As much as I don't like playing the victim complex, the community doesn't give a damn about quality men. But that's true. That's true. Shout out Orsargi. And wow, all these weird names. Orsargi. Okay. Yeah, but it is true. See, that's the thing. We, as thinking men, especially thinking black, we're not allowed to play the victim card. Notice how every single time that a thinking black man, especially, puts their grievances out, puts his grievances out, we are told by the community, as well as some on the hardcore left and the hard right, that, oh, why are you complaining? Why are you whining? Pull yourself up by your own bootstraps, even though we did. Or uh, you can't complain. You need to give back and all this other crap. But it's always the lower trash, the lower class, as Man of Tomorrow calls them. He calls them, what is it? Reptiles? Yeah, reptiles. Obsidian, you know what they call them. I call them, I'll just say they're Bebe's kids. That's my term. The Bebe's kids get to complain, but you, the thinking man, nah, or even the thinking woman, um, if you don't bow to the altar of the rod of Pookie and Ray Ray, oh, you might as well be an educated lame. Don't be a black female who shows an affinity for thinking black men. Granted, they're not the majority. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Most thinking black females, so-called thinking black females, either they're going after the typical Pookie and Ray. They're bound at the rod of Pookie and Ray, or they're bound at the rod of Brett and Chad. That's how it is, and I'm not angry about it. I'm over it. And that's ultimately what we, as thinking men, have to do when it comes to the community. When you go through hell to get to heaven, I know there are instances where you want revenge, where you want sort of retribution, when you want to make it even, to get back. And I know that's a normal feeling. I'm not going to knock individuals who have that initially. That is a normal human feeling. If you don't have that feeling, then you might want to check yourself psychologically. However, there's a season to have it, and then there's a season to move on from it. And as far as that season to move on from the anger and the hostility that you have towards the community, use that anger in order to fuel yourself, in order to do better, not only better than them, because, I mean, if your standard is Pookie and Ray Ray or Bonquisha and her baby's kids, then that's a pretty low standard, to be honest. But do better than the world. Do better than the Brats and Chats. Do better than the Jose's and Marias. Hell, do better than the Yusuke's and Mei Lings. Do better than them. Do better than them. Honestly, if you can do better than them, than the latter group, then like your Fatimas and Samirs, if you can do better than them, then you'll be doing something. Then you'll be on your way to being the elite. What do they call it? I think they call it sexual mutation, where someone you can use your skills, your sexual prowess, or your sexual energy in order to do something productive. Do the same thing when it comes to that anger. Turn that anger to fuel to do something positive, if only for yourself. Let me see. Same but Hispanic. I don't know you're Hispanic, dude. Shout out to you. Let's see what else. Let's see what else is down the line, down the list. Yep. Okay. Light skin dudes are crazy. Hey, you never know. You never know. I was considered a bully for talking. What kind of trash talking were you doing? Exactly. Let me see. What's up? Ayo, what's good? Let me see. Yep, good black men in Boston. Our community disregard us, and only the worst of other races want us. I refuse. Hey, look, get out of Boston, man. Don't waste your time in that. The Northeast is a cesspool. Get out of there. I mean, shout out to the guys who are from there and whose hearts are there, but I couldn't. Even girls in my college love hood. You know what? That's the East Coast for you. That's the East Coast. And Casey Onimaya, facts 100%. Most of the so-called thinking black women mostly go after white guys. and they say they're the most superior to black men. Yeah, if she's attracted to black men, it's your average Pookie. Yeah, that's what it is. And stuff like that is the reason why this community is finished. It's done. This community is done. Because the reality is that the majority of thinking black females, and as I said, this isn't to knock them or call them bed wenches or to shame them back into dating black men. We aren't going to pull the reverse of what the community does. That those Jedi mind tricks, those community mind tricks. We see it for what it is. We notice that the majority of thinking black women, and if someone wants to prove me wrong in it, go on ahead. And which, by the way, you have to be at least cute looking. But thinking black women, for the most part, they want Brad and Chads or Pookies and Ray Rays. In many cases, they want both, but they will not touch thinking black men no matter what. Or if they do, it's for a season. And then a lot of them either come to their senses, and by coming to their senses, meaning basically get coerced by the greater society at large or their inner circle that, oh, you're dealing with a thinking black man. Oh my God, what are you doing? You're wasting your best years and you're being a whore towards thinking black men, and you got to get back with you got to get back with that guy that can give you the kids with the good hair, or the guy who has a swag, who keeps it real. Look, we know what time it is. We know what time it is. But as I said, this is not the channel that's going to shame you back into the negotiating table. There are channels like that, and I'm not knocking them. If that's how they want to deal with it, if they want to get females shamed into coming back to them, I say enjoy it. All I say is that I pray that you do not get cuckolded, because you cannot change the heart. You may change the laws, you may change the dating, the mating patterns, but you cannot change the heart of what a female wants. Once she gets imprinted, shout out to Ron Willis, but once she gets imprinted with something, then chances are she's going to stay in that direction no matter what. Let me see what's going on here. Let me see. Got any tips on studying and memorizing things besides going through it over and over again? Quick tips on that. I would say read the cliff notes first. Read the summaries first, and then read the paragraph, and then read the summaries once again. I would say focus on the summaries or the cliff notes version of what you're reading, and then go through it. Starters, I mean, if you can, study and memorize and read up on things that you like. I mean, that's my tip. But I mean, there are plenty of other ways to research and to study. I just utilize the power that you have, which is YouTube and the internet. But shout out to Scream. That's just my little advice. Oh yeah, Northeast full of closet racist SJW hypocrites. You were right, freelance. Sigma Jones with the $10 super chat. Like I always say, my videos don't. Oh, you make videos? I gotta check it out. I gotta check you out. Hold on. I'll check you out for later. Like I always say in my videos, don't let the nonsense go to your head. Keep doing your thing, bro. Thank you, and keep doing your thing with your videos as well. I mean, I'll check those out. Everyone go ahead and check out Sigma Jones's videos once this live stream is done, of course. But yeah, shout out to you. What are the top 5 American cities you would suggest for temporary relocation? Temporary relocation. So I would say do the reconnaissance, because not every city's for every person. I mean, I have my top 5 cities, but my top 5 cities may not be your top 5 cities. I would say, as a general rule of thumb, if you're a thinking black man, I would say the more west you go, the better it gets. Particularly in places where you don't have a lot of lower income ADOS people who are basically running amok and acting a fool, as they like to say, to the point that they just will not get off the 11 o'clock news. I mean, if you want to go by that, that's a good measuring stick. And I know it may sound self-hating and anti-pro-whack, but we have to say what it is. We have to be honest with what time it is. We have to be strategic when it comes to moving, because more than the community, more than pretending to like your people or liking your people, what is more important than your people is you, particularly yourself. Well, your sanity. Your sanity is what's most important. And you being able to sleep, you being able to sleep easily without not having to worry about any sort of stray bullets, and that's for starters. You being able to get out of the house and not being seen as the boogeyman with everyone around you. I mean, I got enough of that in DC. And you being able to cultivate some sort of social life to the point in which you won't have Nook Nook, Data, and Shaniqua ruining your reputation before you can even speak. Those are the things I would consider if you're a thinking black man looking to relocate within this country. Shout out to AM1. Shout out to AM1 in the chat. Hold on. Hold on. Let me do this right quick. Okay, there you go. There you go. There's the wrench. You got the wrench. And if you hear something in the background, it's just the leather chair that I had. It's not me passing gas. Trust me. Let me see. Shout out to AM1. Screen. They got people in college popping the memory pill days before a test. Adderall? Are you talking about Adderall? All right. Hey, look, I'm not telling you to pop those memory pills. I mean, that is your choice. Take it at your risk. I wouldn't recommend it. If you really need, I'm not going to go there. I'm not getting sued. Let me see. My videos are over at blackavenger.tv. Shout out to blackavenger.tv. Platform, a safe platform for the thinking black man. I mean, thinking men in general. I urge you to check out blackavenger.tv, but especially if you're a thinking black man and if your content is being hounded down by YouTube because you're speaking too much truth or because you're not going along with the Negro script, then I suggest you check out blackavenger.tv. I'll just look it up, and I think he has the link in there. So going ahead and look at Sigma Jones. What he put down there? Let me see what's up. Well, it's probably a lot, Scream. A lot, well, not a lot, but a good amount of them probably graduated, especially now. There's a good amount of women who are graduating thanks to sugar daddy or some sort of escort service or some sort of that kind of industry. Trust me, I wouldn't be surprised. Let me see what's up. Let me see. Oh man, T-Mac, what's good? I've been moving down here. It's not the hot spot for lower income. About their hood. Let me see. You guys are having a conversation here. Yeah, and a lot of people moved down. It's not the hot spot for lower income from the north. It's now the. Oh yeah, that's true. I mean, that is a reason why I'm not going to the ATL. At least not to live there. I'll visit, but I might have to be on guard depending on my first impressions on it. Hey, look, I'm not going there. Oh yeah, yeah. Look, what's good, Black Avenger? What's good? Yeah, and that is the website blackavenger.tv. All you guys go check it out. But here's the thing: as far as going through hell to get to heaven, I mean, I've given you guys a little synopsis of what I went through before. As I said, you know what? I've had administrators trying to really sabotage me graduating or go on to the next grade because of what they figured was me having too much lip. I've had individuals who try to sabotage my grades just because I didn't fit in with what the other blacks were supposed to be. I mean, it's been to the point in which the majority of teachers who actually showed interest and gave a damn were almost all non-black. We were almost all non-black. And the few black ones who, at the very least, were impartial, they were non-ADOS blacks. So this isn't a race thing, but this is a culture thing. And let's be honest, people of all cultures go through some sort of hell in order to get to heaven. If it isn't from their own, it's from an external source or some sort of external adversity. But yeah, that's just what it is, especially with you being a thinking black man in the United States, because let's be honest, we do not have advocates, particularly thinking black men who, yeah, thinking black men in general, we don't have advocates. I mean, of course, the matriarch has advocates. And we all know that the hoodlums, the Pookies and Ray Rays, I hate to use that term, but the hoodlums, the ones, particularly those who are doing the dirt, they have they have advocates. They have plenty of advocates. I mean, World Star Hip Hop. If no other advocacy group is out there for the quote unquote hoodlums, the Bebe's kids, Scraggle Daggles, it's World Star Hip Hop. And obviously, when it comes to the Scraggle Daggles, especially if you're outside of the hood, and I mean, you have the mainstream media. So, but as far as thinking men in the middle, men who don't fit into the Pookie and Ray Ray or um, educated, lame social reject script, we do not have advocates. We have very few in number. And Clutch was thinking, yeah, I am actually. But as far as that's concerned, that is the reason why it is important for you to support those who speak on your behalf. That's the reason why it is important for you to speak. Hold on just a second. But that's why it is important for you to support those who support you, because everybody else does it. Trust me. Other races will support media that represents them. Obviously, certain white interest groups will support those who represent them. Whether it's on the far left, you have your Huffington Post, you have the Young Turds, you have all sorts of was it BuzzFeed with their SJW asses, and then you have the far right. Those mainly your Breitbarts, your Storm Cucks. A lot of them are supported by individuals who want their opinions to be heard at the very least, and at the very most, their opinion become the mainstream opinion. Now, when it comes to us thinking men, we do lack when it comes to one, garnering support, two, being able to arrange some sort of support, especially financially, and three, getting our voices heard on the mainstream front. Now, as I stated, at best, what we have is what I call the Negro Manosphere. Shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson. I know he hasn't told me about this. That's why I'm speculating. This is not something that we've discussed behind closed doors, but I'm speculating that he is on his way out. I think he believes he's done all that he could with the Negro Manosphere. And even in that case, the Negro Manosphere and the Black Manosphere has been a voice for all blacks. It's been like this mesh, this salad bowl of opinions, whether it's from the thinking black men, the street cats, or the bastardized version of these two philosophies, and your Pookies and Ray Rays, your basement dwelling social rejects, and everyone in between. At best, I would say the Negro Manosphere has funded a voice for everyone from every part of the black diaspora to speak their opinions in a way that it isn't censored. It may be challenged. It will be challenged. Trust me. But it will not be censored. So I have to give him credit where credit is due. Even then, we've seen how a lot of individuals, particularly those who are of the community, will outshadow, outshine, and if nothing else, outshout those who are outside the community and don't lock in step with the mindset of the community, the Negro script, as I like to call it. And we see what happens when this occurs. And I mean, we see it when it comes to the audience. And I'm not trying to make excuses on why a person like myself can't get more viewers, concurrent viewers, than someone like, a Nook Nook or Day Day, a Man Man or Little Twin. And no, Man Man is not a specific person. So let's not get started with the beefs there. He's doing his own thing. He hasn't said anything about me, or for that matter, thinking black men. He's defending his own street cat, so shout out to him. And we need people who defend their own. That's what you expect. Of course, you're gonna have former or retired Pookies. No, I take that back. Former Pookies and Ray Rays defending their own. I get that. You're gonna have former educated. You know what's defending their own. I get that. I just happen to fall more or less on the other side, the latter side than the former side. Even though at this point, you could not fit me into a perfect box, or the perfect box that is what you would call this parody of a thinking black man, this Steve Urkel or even Carlton image. You could, if you saw me in real life, you wouldn't even think I was a Carlton, honestly. Come on, say Clutch. Many of us don't appreciate it. Is we don't appreciate cerebral thought. That's just how it is when it comes to the community, and that's the reason why channels like mine still exist. I feel as if there isn't a lot of voice when it comes to those who can put coherent thoughts together that doesn't fit into an agenda, whether a leftist agenda or a victimhood agenda, or even a rightist toe in line with the plutocratic, borderline ethno-nationalist rightist thought that dominates the conservative movement of today. I mean, if you want to put me in the category of anything, my views are more libertarian leaning than anything else. When it comes to fiscal financial responsibility, oh yeah, we gotta clamp down on taxes, and taxation is theft. That's my honest opinion, especially when the taxation that is utilized for either the military industrial complex, for corporate welfare, or on the left for social welfare, particularly lazy welfare. I mean, it's one thing if you're giving welfare benefits to the disabled, the elderly, and those who can't take care of themselves, these adopted children out here. Tell me why you have, whether it's a Bonquishas in the hood, or the Becky Sue's in the trailer parks, or the Yesenias or the Yesenias in the barrio, they get all sorts of benefits. However, you can't get kids who are abandoned by their own parents any sort of benefit, any sort of help, any sort of genuine help. I mean, we're still dealing with an 18th century British model of adoption, of boarding houses when it comes to kids who are abandoned. Where's their welfare? Where's their freaking handouts? Where's their free schooling? Where's their health care? I mean, if you hear about how these kids are treated, it's horrendous, especially in countries like this, it's horrendous. Whereas we take care of those who are just lazy and intentionally just stealing from our taxpayer dollars. They're treated like damn near kings and queens by the comparison, or just damn near kings and queens in general, because these are the individuals who don't work. They don't work outside of, I mean, the most they work is in the bedroom or in the nightclub or on the internet. I mean, we see constantly how a lot of these individuals are always the ones who have the time to either upload videos in the middle of a freaking Tuesday or Wednesday, or in the middle of the night. It's always those. Yep. Or they'll just do hangouts all day, talking trash and trying to shame the educated, thinking black men to go back to the community and give me more handouts because I'm afraid Donald Trump's going to do the cuts, which, well, you know what? Breaking news, guys, the cuts aren't coming. The cuts are not coming at this point. I don't even care if Donald Trump wins another term and if the Republicans gain control of Congress. The cuts are not coming, because if he would have done it, if it was going to come, he would have done it by now. And half these individuals who were talking about cuts are the same ones that they just want to get this Daggle to choose them as the alpha. And as far as I'm concerned, you can have it. I'm over it. I've been over it, because personally, if you've watched Snow Bunny Sundays with me and Solo TV 84, I will be the first one who will say that the built big booty Bonquisha or professional big booty Brendas, they're not my body type. I cannot stand big asses in any sort of way. I don't get what the attraction is to big asses. I don't get what mesmerizes a lot of these mediocre Negroes to just drop all their senses and lower their IQs temporarily to the point in which they just worship and bow at the altar of the big booty. I don't get it. I really don't. And I think a lot of it is socially programmed because 30 years ago, for you guys who are as old as me or older, I'm 32, by the way, a lot of you guys out there remember videos from the 1990s and prior where the women, particularly black women, they didn't have big asses like this. They didn't have the badonkadonks and they didn't have the bad shaped bodies where it's basically, yeah, it's atrocious. And they had nice firm asses. Um, they had the perky puppies, which is I'm definitely more of a puppy person. I'm all about puppies all day. But as far as that's concerned, look, this is all social programming. This is all. This is the matriarchy in society at large telling us that we have to be the leftovers. We have to be. All right, we have to be the leftovers. So, yeah, I'm just looking outside right quick, seeing what's going on. Yeah. So and look, G Lowry, he's in the house. I trust me. I'm seeing you. I'm seeing the good work you're doing. And shout out to G Lowry. He's another member along with AM1 of hashtag Light Skin Supremacy. One of these days, we're gonna have a Light Skin Supremacy podcast. I swear, we're gonna do that. We're gonna trigger a lot of the individuals. We're gonna trigger the ADOS people. This is not the trigger the thinking black men, the dark skin thinking black men. You guys are cool, but we need to get this Light Skin Supremacy podcast in one way or another. We're gonna have him. We're gonna have those two. We're gonna have Kiri Gakade Jones. We're gonna have Edward Anderson. Granted, we're gonna have to give him his own spot for his infomercial because we all know what time it is when Edward Anderson speaks. Let me see. I mean, if I can really finesse it, we can get Minister Jap and Donovan Sharp on. I mean, you want to talk about light world order, light. You want to talk about some real light power? Oh man. Let's see what's going on in the chat. What's going on in the chat right now? Okay, let me see. You guys are having a good conversation here. Let me see. Oh, let me see. If we're aiming for that 4K. We're aiming for that 4K, not just that 4K TV. Let me see. You went to school with someone named Day Day. Day Day. Oh, that is hilarious. That's freaking hilarious, dude. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. I just turned 33, have no kids. I'm not taking care of anyone. Hey, no, don't do it. Don't clean it up. Don't clean it up. Let me see. What's up? Freelance running. It's a shame. They're in their mistakes and people area running in the city. Yeah, okay, you guys are having. Exactly. The cuts aren't coming. That result in the contraction of local economies. The daggles aren't worth exactly. A lot of these local economies, a lot of these local Walmarts, these dollar stores, a lot of them run on black, female. You can fill in the rest. Have you seen Wrangle TV's videos about those women? Hey, look, if you've seen them one, you've seen them all. No, I'm not knocking Wrangle TV Raw, but look, I mean, he's probably saying, they're hitting the wall because they wasted their time fooling around with these no good Pookies and Ray Rays or these Brad and Chads who turned them out. And now that they've hit the wall, they're acting a certain way. Either they're complaining on the internet or they're pretending to be good and trying to plead to thanking black men. I mean, it's the same script every single time. Now, I'm not knocking on Ringo, but we know at this point what the game is when it comes to dealing with these kind of women. Let me see. Yeah, well, good luck with the interview process. Oh yeah, they aren't ready for Donovan Sharp. If we get Donovan Sharp on light skin supremacy, we may have to put that up in Patreon. I may have to start a Patreon and put that video up there because it would be too hot for YouTube. I have not been flagged yet on my video. We're knocking on wood. That never happens. I'm surprised that it hasn't happened as of yet. But yeah, as far as that is concerned, look, this. In any case, let me see who is in this chat room right now, because let me see. All right, so let me see. Yeah, Donovan Sharp's legit. He's legit. Now, with that being stated, anyone, if you have any questions, go on ahead and shoot it right now. We're at the 55-minute mark. Let's see what's going on. Let's see. Let me see. Any questions, feel free to shoot. This is a free round. You guys get to tell me whatever is on your mind, whatever you want me to answer. We're going to try to give this, I don't know, probably like a few more minutes. And I thank you guys, all you guys who have super chatted. I really appreciate it, especially to Todd Beskis with the $50 super chat. Shout out to him especially. So, I mean, we do deal with big business. We do deal with big ballers. You don't have to be a pro ADOS. It's the white man's fault. No, man. Now donate me your money. You don't have to pull that game off in order to get donations. I know when you go these Daggle streams or these pro wax streams, and you're seeing all the super chats, $10, $20, $15, $50. Look, that just goes to show you that this community is finished. If you're going to give all that money to individuals who will tell you at best that you can do nothing because you're predicament, and at worst will tell you that you're garbage because you're a black man and you're a weak beta male coon. If you're willing to give your money towards that, this community is finished. Hashtag SYSBM. Save yourself, black man. And let's be honest, the SYSBM dudes, I mean, they're doing work. They're doing work, but they can do better. They can do better on their, not even just presentation. They can do better on content. I don't see a lot of content from those guys. I don't know why. I mean, if it comes down to it, I may have to, take the reins and, be the new leader of it. And if that's the case, then so be it. But especially once I get out there and with my Lights to Supremacy World Tour, and to break it to you guys, oh man, the ADOS guys are going to be pissed off. And by ADOS, I don't mean all black men, all dark-skinned black men, but some of these ADOS Negroes are going to be pissed off when I tell them the secret, the Bush's baked bean secret with the dog. The dog's going to walk he's going to walk somewhere. I don't know where he is. He's going to walk. I think the original one did die, but there's going to be a Bush's baked beans dog, one who talks. And he's going to come in. He's going to come in my video. He's going to distract it. And he's going to tell you guys something that's going to piss off the community, the communists. And that secret is the one-drop rule doesn't exist outside of America. Yeah, that's it. Once I get my Light Skin Supremacy World Tour going, and once I prove that, oh man, I may catch some heat. I may get some flags in this video. I mean, they're flagged. They're constantly flagging guys. Mr. Jap came out with a few videos that triggered a couple of scraggle daggles, and he's getting flagged. Come on, he got flagged. His videos are getting flagged. Let me see what else. A couple other individuals. I know there's a big flag fest that happened 2 years ago in the Black Manosphere, and most of those guys have recovered. So shout out to all those guys who were willing to fight the good fight. And I'm seeing right now, since a lot of these daggles are lining the cut right now, especially since some of their videos were flagged down or they just took it down. I think at this point, this is the time that we have to realize that it is better for us to not bicker at each other, to not go at each other, and just be focused on the main goals. Let's see what's going on. The questions we got. Let me see the questions. Um, ask me why only white people seem to be only helping me out. Well, and they blame who exactly? And they blame who exactly? You're starting a business, and only white people are the ones that helping you out. Where's the community, Trojan? I thought the community was there to help you. I thought we needed a pro-black agenda and to do black businesses, as some Claude fan, I don't know, Claude Fan Johnson would say. I don't know. Hey, what's up? All right, so Trey has a question. Got a question. I have white girls smiling at me. White girls are smiling at you, dude. That's a warm approach. You got to follow up, dude. Warm approaches mean if they're smiling at you, and if it's more for like 3 seconds, you go holler at her. Well, not holler. You go talk to her. You go talk to her like a man, dude. Yeah, grab your nuts, because thinking black men have nuts too, and you go make the move. Now, I'm all for warm approaches. Not this code approach crap that the PUA say, but the warm approach, oh yeah, take advantage. But if you want further details about that, you listen to some of these more credible dating coaches like your Ron Wills, your Aaron Roger Curry's, your Alpha Male Strategies. Let me see who else. Stefan Clinkscales. He's a mix between red pill and dating and working out. I mean, shout out to him. He wants to do it all. I mean, I don't blame him. He's the youngest one out of all the Nasir guys. Of course, he's going to have the most. He's going to have the most energy. Let me see. What do you personally know about Boise, Idaho? I've never been to Boise, Idaho, but if it's anything like where I am right now, then Boise should be okay. It should be okay, at least the city and the inner suburbs. Maybe if you go out too far, then you run into the Aryan paradise, and we don't like con around here. What they're around here? No. But yeah, I would visit Boise before making the decision to move there, especially a place like that. That would be the best thing you can do. If you don't like it, then just pass up on the job offer, keep moving, apply to places where you actually feel more comfortable in. Exactly. Easiest way to get out of the community is expand your horizons, join the military. Hey, I do not disagree with that. You're in it. For me personally, the military, I feel it's too rigid, and I feel as if there are a lot of egos in the military. And to the point in which, I mean, personally, me, myself, I can take an order. I'm like, if you tell me something, I'm like, sir, yes, sir, yeah, ma'am, yes, you, ma'am. But when you have your little egos and attitudes and act like you're the master of the sergeant masters, most important person, master sergeants of sergeants, whatever, to the max, like you work in the Pentagon or something like that, then no, that's what I call it. I mean, as I said, I'm a lot more rebellious than you guys may think. Hope your tour comes to Seattle. Look, my tour, I already had a tour in Seattle. I'm talking about internationally. Like in Seattle, but I can vouch for Seattle. Seattle's legit. For thinking black men, it is legit. If for no other reason, when you speak to the typical Ados Daggle and you mention Seattle, her head explodes. They will have a conniption fit when it comes to Seattle because they know what time it is. They can't pull the crap off like it can in Chicago and Atlanta, where it's all segregated and the non-black chicks are like, I don't date a white guy. You're a white guy. I don't want to date a black guy. No. You don't deal with that crap in Seattle. Seattle might as well be in British Columbia. That's how they are. I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm not saying that you won't deal with a couple of American BS, especially from the liberal hipster crowd. But outside of that, it's way more moderate than the typical Americana city. Let's see what's up. Let me see. Heard about the military. Oh yeah, military pays. If for no other reason, military will pay for everything. You just have to be their bitch for a few years, but it's worth it. If you can't get out any other way, I recommend joining the military. Let me see. Yep, Golden Pod benefits. You're right about the Midtown Atlanta. Oh yeah. Oh, really? Country bar. Country bar, really? And then they aren't like okay, well, whatever works for you. Let's see what's up. Let's see what's up. Hey, what up? What's up, Afro Cubano American? What's good? In any case, let's see. We're at an hour right now, so as far as that's concerned, I know you guys got a lot of stuff to do. It's Monday. We're all just getting off that shake, all just getting that Monday crap off our back. I know. So yeah, Vancouver, I vouch for Vancouver. Definitely check out Vancouver. Yeah. But if any of you guys don't have anything else, I'll close with stating this. As far as going through hell, and I think we went through a lot more subjects than what I was intending, but as far as the main topic of going through hell to get to heaven, the main point I'm making is this. You have to sacrifice a lot in order to get a lot. Like going to the military, for instance, you have to sacrifice a lot of things, including your freedom in more ways than one. And more importantly than that, your individuality. You can't be an individual in the military. It just does not work like that. That's not how the military works. The military works as a unit. And if you aren't a part of that unit, physically and mentally and psychologically, and it's not going to work for you. So, and that's the reason why I went to college instead. Even in college, you're going to have to sacrifice a lot. That's if you want to make a big progress, a major progress. If you want to really get something, particularly in the STEM field or a field that will actually give you a job outside of college, you have to sacrifice those Friday and Saturday nights where everybody else who has the easy basket weaving liberal arts degrees or 105 IQ dude bro business degrees, you're gonna have to sacrifice. But I'll give you this: if you know how to sacrifice in the right way, and if you do some study pimping, then those sacrifices will feel so much better. I mean, you go to the library, go to a 24/7 library and your local college campus on Friday or Saturday night, the one that opens to stay opens late, or I think weekdays actually, and a lot of them stay open 24/7 weekdays. A lot of them close down on weekends. But if you can do that weekday study pimping, you can look fly, look fly, do all that sprucing up, shaving yourself, not looking like a neck beard, smelling good, getting the best cologne, and then you sit next to those nerdy girls, those nerdy cute girls. Oh yeah, you trust me. That sacrifice will be well worth it. But yeah, but it's sacrifice. It is going through a sort of hell to get to heaven. As I stated, a lot of the community, what they will drag you through is, I hate to say it, it is basically a form of hell that a lot of the communities will not talk about. They will not admit to you. They will not recognize it. Even those who are willing to talk to the thinking black men. I saw a stream today where Man Tomorrow, shout out to Man Tomorrow. He's definitely a voice of the thinking black man, an honorable voice, a good representation of the thinking black man. Go ahead and check out his channel, Man of Tomorrow. And he had a stream where you had a group of thinking black men and a group of people who were more about the community. Shout out to Gab and shout out to even George Macon. However, we have to admit that those who are on the side of the communitist, they were not willing to admit their own faults that they played into dragging thinking black men through the hell that we had to go through. Even if they themselves didn't do it, they were not willing to admit the hell that their counterparts did and created in order that we had to go through. It's just as simple as that. And a lot of these individuals, if they want a black unity, a black male unity in the way that they want it, they're going to have to at least come halfway and make that step and admit their wrongs. Like a lot of these individuals want white people to admit their mistakes and racism and that sort of thing. Well, that's going to come, actually. That might come sooner than you may think. Because this American white person, this American white man especially, he's losing power. And once he has no more power, once that world reserve currency comes down or changes over from the US dollar, watch that world reserve currency. Study up on that if you haven't. But once that is shifted somewhere else, or if it's split between America and China or wherever, then you're going to see the moderates are going to disappear. You're going to see either a bunch of whites, you're going to own up to their bullshit and be like, our bad. Even in some cases, it may be just because of desperation and they need American allyship. And you know how a lot of these MGTOW and MRA guys will plead at the black men that, yeah, your community was affected, but our community is affected too. So you got to help us. Please help us, brother. Please help us. Where was that in the 50s? Anyway, so you have that, and then you have those who will be on the right and be like, well, we need to build our ethno state. Yeah, I think some other country tried building that ethno state crap and tried. Yeah, we saw what happened there. So yeah, that's basically what's going to happen. But in any case, building your own heaven, that is ultimately the responsibility of us. That is ultimately our duty. And hopefully shows like this, now I'm thinking I'm a TV show, streams like this, channels like mine, etc., hopefully will give the thinking black man especially the voice that is so desperately needed in this market. I might not be the most eloquent nor the most exciting. I get it. And that's the reason why I'm at 3,000 something subs. That's whatever. You can find someone who speaks my rhetoric at 30,000, 300,000. Go for it. Who's a lot more charismatic. Go for it. Who has a lot better graphics. Go for it. That's what the free market's about. I'm not complaining on that front. But our voices need to be heard. And the fact of the matter is that a lot of us have gone through a lot more hell than our counterparts in other communities. We can go through the examples, but I can tell you right now, I've hung out with a lot of people who are like myself, in non-black communities. And I can tell you this, their social circle will make sure that they are not seen as a social outcast. Their social circles and communities will make sure that their skills will not be wasted and will not be utilized in other communities, not before it's used in theirs. Yes, you may have some Indians, Middle Easterns, Asians, Latinos who may work for people outside the race, but the community makes sure that they are covered in one way or another. If not in the job market, then in the dating market. That's the reason why you see, especially in these diverse cities, these melting pot cities, you will see people, Latinos, Asians, Middle Easterns, Indians, especially non-black, non-white minorities. These guys would be considered the quote unquote educated lames of their community. But notice how a lot of them can easily get paired up with a female at the very least of their caliber, of their looks, of their sexual market value. And everyone's all just chilling, enjoying. In many cases, they can get with cute chicks who are above their level. I mean, hell, it happens right here where I am in Utah. You have a lot of, I hate to say it, a lot of guys, a lot of these white Mormon guys who, if they didn't have Mormonism, at best they would be MGTOW. At best, they'd be MGTOW. But they can easily get with the hot, fine, standard Barbie Becky, given that they do the missions and follow the honor code. That's all they need to do for about 18 to 20 years, and then they're set. They get married in that temple and be bonded by the celestial eternity bond that happens inside the secret hidden temples, legends of the hidden temple. I guess that's a legend of the hidden temple right there. But yeah, after that, they can have all the sex and all the kids they want. And trust me, a lot of them won't have to worry about bustless nights afterwards. Same thing when it comes on with these non-black, non-white minority communities. They make sure that their best or their competent don't have bustless nights. It's only within the community where not only do we not watch out for our own, but we laugh at those who are competent and we make sure they have bustless nights. The community gets off on having the best black men having bustless nights. I mean, you just did that because you couldn't get any pussy. You couldn't get it. You didn't have the swag, the mouthpiece. No, man, me. Sure. Yeah, exactly. And you wonder why I made the video, The Three Fates of Black America. You think you're going to stop a man, especially a thinking black man, from getting this? No, they're not going to take it out via revenge. And that's not what this channel is about. At least not revenge in the way that people would typically paint it as. But my form of revenge, if you want to see my form of revenge, the revenge that I advocate, you go look at that video, Three Fates of Black America, and look at particularly the first two groups that will become the quote-unquote new black mainstream, and the African, Caribbean, and the immigrant black class, as well as the biracial class. Do you not think that a good amount of those classes would be made of thinking black men who were exiled out of the community because they had a triple-digit IQ, or that they had to go through so much hell compared to their counterparts outside of the community, and non-blacks, non-ADOS blacks? Do you think a lot of that is just because they want to be outside the community, outside the place they were raised, outside the culture they were familiar with the most? Do you think they want that? Really? Well, as far as that's concerned, revenge, in my opinion, is a dish best served mixed. What else do we have before we get out of here? Let me see. The Amish, too. Yep. The news having population boom just last week. Oh, yeah, the Amish. Watch out for the Amish. Or I think you meant Amish. Amish? You probably meant Amish. Let me see. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? How do you feel about an associate's degree in mechanical engineering technology? Hey, anything STEM related, go for it. Anything STEM. An associate's degree in mechanical engineering technology. Yeah, get the bachelor's right. As long as you can get a job with it, and job will probably sponsor you getting your bachelor's. Trust me. If it's a reputable job, a halfway decent job, yeah, get it. A mechanical engineering technology associate's degree will put you in a much better position than most of these individuals who have their bachelor's and master's in puppetry and I don't know, SJW, feminist, Tumblr studies. I mean, yeah, BuzzFeed studies. Yeah, you'll be better off. Let me see. I'd rather be in Seattle than Atlanta. Oh yeah, and it's not even because of the heat. I can handle the heat. You put me in Phoenix, I'll be fine. Let me see. Let me see. Seattle is good. Yep, a lot of cooperative bunnies who will love the Carltons. They love the Carltons. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. I give Anchorage a chance. Hey, Anchorage would be a good gamble. At the very least, if you're in Anchorage, you're earning some money. You're not just there for ships and giggles. How do you really deal with women on a sexual relationship? I noticed. I mean, it's too direct, too aloof, and it turns them off. I would say, as I said, I would deal more or less with the dating coaches here, and look towards their videos. You can't go wrong with Donovan Sharp, AMS, those guys, Steph Clinksales, the other guys I've mentioned before. On dating questions, I would go to them for questions like that specifically. But yeah. Let me see what else is going on. What's good, David Monroe? Haven't seen you neither. Glad to have you. They're losing power and they know it. Gab is turning. Yeah, he is. Yeah. Did Daggle turn on him a week again? Again, man. Look, shout out to Gab Talk Media. I know he is for his people. He is one of the more pragmatic pro-blacks. And with that being stated, look, Gab. And if he doesn't mind me talking about him, the Prophet of Thought. These are both individuals who care about their people, who love their people, who love blackness, and that's great. These are individuals who I feel as if they truly love their people in a genuine way, all their people, whether it's the lower income, Pookies and Rays, the upper income, educated, you know what, they love them indiscriminately. However, these individuals, if they haven't already, they will find out that on the lower income scale, and not even lower income, but just the lower ideological scale, those who cling more towards the Negro mindset, the underclass gangsta rap Negro mindset. They do not care about anything but them. In many cases, they don't even care about each other. But if you go after it, if you defend anyone who is outside of that Negro mindset, they will go at you with all the fury that they claim that they want to go after the white man with. These people are scared of true racists, true white supremacists, that they will not go at these people. They're enemies. They're sworn enemies as hard as they will black men who are on the thinking side, or even those who are moderate, like your Gap Talk Medias, your the Prophet of Thoughts, even some other individuals who I've deemed as pro-black. Who, yeah, that's just how it is. And when these guys really get that lash from the community, we aren't going to be there to tell them we told you so, but we will welcome them with open arms, like we did with the Prophet of Thought. We welcomed him with open arms, and now we have an ally on our side. Let me see. Okay, so an associate is a waste of time. Get a 4-year. Matter of fact, I don't think you can get an associate in engineering. You know what? I don't think so neither. Shout out G. Rowery. Shout out to him. Let me see. I was an aerospace engineering student in college, and it was a 4 to 5 year degree. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, I mean, if you're going to go for an associate's, especially engineering, if you can, get a bachelor's. But let me see. I mean, if you can get a bachelor's, then you'll be in business. Nobody would tell you what the fuck to do. You keep it blunt. If you get a bachelor's in any sort of STEM degree, and if you get a good well, hell, just get a bachelor's and know what the hell you're doing. Nobody can tell you what the hell to do. And the one of the reasons why I am a big advocate for STEM degrees and the hell you do in order to get it is because the hell you go through in STEM, even as an undergrad, will pale in comparison to the hell that individuals who have basket weaving degrees go through their entire lives, or even the hell that people who get like business degrees deal with in corporate America. You think the STEM? I'd rather study STEM. I'd rather go for a master's in mechanical engineering than deal with corporate America. That's how bad corporate America is. And you don't have to be a white male in order to experience that hell. If you're a straight male in general, especially if you're one who doesn't kiss corporate ass and play the corporate games, it is hell on earth. Black men, if you're doing corporate America, unless your job is secure, I'd look into going back to school or going to the trade school for something, because your job's not safe. I mean, you talking about this, well, my job's not safe and I'm a cis white man. Well, you can get a job. Get a job in China. Seriously. If you're that unsafe, if you feel as if your job's in risk, get a freaking job overseas in Eastern Europe, since you guys love to talk about Eastern Europe's the last bastion land of Western culture. Yeah, how ironic. Or go to some white worship in China or Korea. You'll be fine. Why do people think the white man's just going to lose power and coat the floor to brown people? You know what? You got a point. You do have a point. You do have a point. So either get ready or have a contingency plan to get out. Just get out, because you're going to have a bunch of trail trash whites and hood trash and Joel trash all fighting each other. And you know what? Let them have each other. Let them ruin each other. And the pragmatic people of all races will stand aside and we'll say, we have the winner. We got winner. And we're not letting the winner get any sort of breaks, because this race war crap is silly. In my opinion, it's freaking silly. It's freaking dumb. It's for the weak. Race is for the weak. It is a social construct, if I have ever seen one. When the left says race is a social construct, then you can talk about me voting Democrat. Until then, you have nothing for me. You can say gender is a social construct, and that, well, if Tammy identifies as an attack AC-130 helicopter from Modern Warfare 4, it's okay, but you can't. Don't get me started on that. Any case, You see, I'm rambling. I'm just rambling right now. So let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Wow. Okay. Lancaster in the house. Shout out to D Rock Den. Let me see. You guys talking about the Seattle and Georgia. Speaking of MGTOW, why people like TF, thanks for repealing the 19th. Repealing the 19th Amendment will not save Western society. They don't want to do the work. They want the government to do their work for them. These MGTOW guys, they want the government to do their work for them. And it's the same government that they voted for to take away their rights just because, well, if they talk trash about the black man, they must be good for America. But in reality, what these writers have done, the ones that you voted in who you thought were going to be so pro-white, like Ronald Reagan, guess what he did? Brought in the feminism, got rid of no fault divorce, brought in the elite, gave all sorts of amnesty to Mexican Americans, and then yep, you get the country you voted for, people. That is so true, G. Unfortunately, that is so true. Or maybe that's not too unfortunate, depending on if they know the difference. Let me see. Um, yeah, yeah. The Smokehouse, those states are actually legit. For thinking black men, I would definitely put those states at the top of your list. Uh, uh yeah. Easy thinking about what happens. Exactly, exactly. A lot of in Alaska. Yep. Degrees. Yeah, this is it. Certain experience. Certain experience will definitely get you into the door as much, if not more, than a degree in IT. Yeah, that's correct, man. The dagger will always turn on you. Exactly. You keep your one eye open. I mean, that big booty, Brennan. Yeah, that big booty may be mesmerizing, but what is it worth? What is it worth? You see, bachelor's in nursing. First job pays 65. Exactly. You get yourself a STEM degree or a medical degree or even an accounting degree, particularly if you go for your CPA. You don't have to kiss ass. You tell them to kiss your ass or to kiss your ass. And that's what these degrees are about at this point. That's what going to college is about. If you're not going to college in order to get a job that you can tell people to kiss your ass or kiss your ass, don't go to college. Don't even waste your time. And only good business degrees. If you can get an MBA, that's fine too. I mean, I'm mixed when it comes to MBAs. I'm more on the side of only good business degrees in accounting. But if you can get an MBA and if you have some inside connections, then go for it. I mean, it's easier than getting a CPA, but yeah, I mean, it's worth it. It's worth something. An MBA and master's degree in information technology. Well, yeah, by saying, oh, yeah, that's fair enough. But I think to be honest, G, I think your master's in information technology is getting you a lot further than your MBA. That's just my personal opinion. But don't sleep in trade schools. Don't. Let me see. Let me see. You're blaming the left for. I'm blaming both sides for race. Armbads. I'm blaming both sides for the racial tensions. It's trust me, both sides have a role to play for it. That's why I don't play this left, this right is paradigm. It's all silly. Yeah. Well, Let's end on a bright note. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Shout out to all you guys. Exactly. All right. Well, I don't hold you guys up too long. Don't trust Big Booty in the smile. Bell Bivido. But I don't want to hold you guys up too long. I know you guys have lives. We all have lives. Or at the very least, we have stuff to watch, including this game 4, where Warriors will come back. I'm not blocking you. I'm not blocking you. Chill out, man. Any case. But in any case, you guys out there, hopefully this was a good hangout, that you were able to get some sort of gems and to realize that in order to get to where you want, you're going to have to go through a lot of crap. So other than that, thanks for the support. Thanks for the shout outs. So I've seen some major hitters out here. So shout out to a lot of you guys here. And yep, G Lowry's giving some advice here. So even the commenters are giving advice. So shout out to you guys. Props to you guys. And Hopefully you guys just link up. If I'll give you guys a minute to link up, exchange emails if you want. This won't go down, so even if I end the stream, the page will be up. So feel free, exchange emails, network people, and everyone else out there. Always bet on X.